Good morning, friends. This is Leanne. I hope you're having a good start to your day here on Tuesday morning. I wanted to give you a little report from my trip into Chicago for the business forum with the country of Poland. As you know, I did that last week and I promised to report, so here it is. So I was able to meet up with several of my real estate colleagues there, and so we were very honored to actually meet the Consul General for Poland. His name is Piotr Janicki, and we had a great visit with him about real estate. We talked specifically about real estate in Chicagoland, and also a little bit about Iowa. And I was able to invite him to come to the state of Iowa because he does cover this area. So a consul general is like the highest ranking official for a country at a consulate in whatever area they're in. So he covers Chicago and several states in the Midwest. So anyway, he was a very great gentleman to meet and very gracious. So that was very interesting. We also were able to meet Sabina Klimicki, and she is the trade commissioner who is based in New York. Very brilliant woman and just a real pleasure to meet as well. So you might wonder, why did Leanne go into Chicago to talk about Poland? Well, I have a fondness for Poland, and that comes from just my interest in history as a child. That's where it stems from. But also, after visiting in country several times, I learned how much I love the culture and the people and just really everything about Poland and what a diverse country it is, and what a lively country it is. So it evolved for me over time. And one of the things that really intrigues me about Poland is it is a very young country. It is only 27 years old as far as a democracy goes. So if you put that into perspective, a U.S. is over 200 years old. So this is 27-year-old country as a democracy. And it's just grown by leaps and bounds and just a really, really big influence in the European economy as well as worldwide. So a little bit about Poland. It has a population of 38 million. So to give you an idea, that's about the same population as the state of California. So one whole country about the same size as the state of California. So one of the biggest goals of most Polish people is to be homeowners. And Polish people exceed Americans as far as making home purchases and staying in their homes longer than we Americans do. So being a homeowner is really, really important. Poland is very, very stable. And so when people buy in to get their first home, they may also do investments. And I can tell you a little story about from one of my visits in Poland. We were actually invited to a gentleman's home with his family by the name of Thomas. And we made pierogies there. And we made the Ruski pierogies, which is a little bit different than some of the other kinds of Polish ones. They're called pierogies Ruski. And in Thomas's home, his wife, he was actually in the tourism business, and his wife worked at the airport, and they had two children. And they had just gotten their new home, a year or two max. I can't quite remember how long it was. But they were very, very proud homeowners, and as a realtor, that really kind of touched my heart. The home was very simple, very clean architecture, very European style, but modern. And so it was really, really neat to spend that time with him and learn a little bit about, some of their natural home life. So what else did I want to tell you? Poland has a very strong business spirit, as I said, and they have developed with a lot of multinational countries that they continue to grow and do business with. And one of the biggest strengths of Poland's economy or Poland's business atmosphere, resulting from a survey that was done with international companies, is the labor force. They are considered to be 3 of the strongest points out of 10. It relates to the human element. So they consider employee loyalty, labor productivity, and being able to find qualified employees as one of their strong suits. Actually 3 different points of the strong suits, so 3 out of 10 relate to the human element. And the population is older, but the younger folks are very, very well educated. So people 40 and younger. Most everyone speaks English. some have a third language, so maybe French or Italian, so Polish, French, Italian, and English. So just a tip, if you're ever in Poland and you want to ask for directions, find somebody that's 40 or younger because they'll for sure speak English. So that's kind of a neat little fact to share with you. Another interesting thing, getting back talking about labor and that kind of thing, one of my trips into Poland, we met a young 20-something guy, and he was from South Africa. And his company had a tech company in Poland, and he was actually there at an office in Katowice, where he was getting some training to take back to South Africa. So that's just one real live experience that we had relating to the workforce in Poland. So that's a really key element in commercial development, is of course your workforce. What else did I want to share with you? Oh, Poland also is a very productive company as far as putting out goods, exporting goods. So a couple of the key elements are engines and pumps. They do a lot of plastic work. There's a whole long list, but those are kind of the top ones. You might be interested to know that they do a lot with signage, a lot with lighting, and a lot with furniture. One thing to know is if you go to IKEA, look and see where your product is made. If you buy a piece of furniture there, chances are it was made in Poland. The IKEA uses Polish manufacturing for a lot of their work, so that's kind of interesting to know as well. Poland's also very developed and advanced, actually, in their banking and technology. So if you think about us, we're just now kind of getting chip cards. Our banks are issuing them to us here in 2016. Poland's had chip cards since 2007. So that's kind of another interesting fact. Also, there's two major banks that have functioned in Poland. One is Deutsche Bank, which I find a little bit ironic given Poland's history, but that Deutsche Bank has been there. They are not doing very well if you follow world markets and global business. Deutsche Bank has been struggling a little bit, and they're particularly struggling in Poland. So a lot of the Polish banks, the PKO PB banks, are starting to take over some of Deutsche Bank. So that's how strong they are as far as what they're doing in their business development and in their banking industry. So there are currently about 800 countries, 800 companies in the country of Poland working. And they find it very much advantageous to their industries. And Poland is always looking for more investors. So how does this all wrap around related to real estate? Well, if we have a company that's wanting to invest in Poland, obviously they're looking for buildings, real estate, that kind of thing. Secondly, you will find that they need structures that may be in place, or there's a lot of land available to develop. So talking about industry, one of my favorite companies that is actually pushed business this way, so companies also want to come to the U.S. and invest here and bring their products here, is Inglot, Inglot, Inglot Makeup. And they've been around for a very long time. I believe it's about a 40-year-old company. And Inglot does a lot of work in theater and modeling. And so they have been around for a long time, but they're really getting into the commercial market for personal individuals. So Inglot is a very fine developed makeup, a lot of natural makeup to it, a lot of natural aspects of it, which kind of are all into more natural makeup. So probably the closest store boutique would be, I would say probably Water Tower Place in Chicago would probably be the closest one. But look it up online. It's an amazing company. So that's just a good example for you of countries coming into America to do business, and Poland being one of them. So anyway, I could talk all day about Poland and the neat things about it and the great opportunities. If you have any interest in learning about Poland, learning about culture, learning about business-related items, then certainly feel free to reach out to me. I love to talk about what I know, and if I don't know, I know people who do have the answers. So that's just one aspect of what I do as an international realtor is I learn about countries and how to do business. How can we go there if somebody wants to invest and bring some work to that country, or for people that want to come here. And people come here, obviously they buy real estate for their home, or they may want to do investments. So that's kind of what it's all about. So um, anyway, that's kind of what I want to share with you about Poland. Uh, and I want to leave you this one thought. You know, it's very easy for us to kind of get in our own little world. And I encourage you to reach out and go out of your comfort zone. And, you know, you meet amazing people. There are very, very interesting people in this world. And so I just encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and just take the opportunities that come your way, or seek opportunities to learn about other people and other cultures. So that's my little pearl of wisdom, or what I'm sharing with you for today. So I'm going to sign off here. I got to get to the office, but I wish you all a great day. Make it a